So online classes where you can blow whatever, you don't have to have that in. Welcome to welcome to Flexi class. Today we'll do middle split, and first we will warm up, and then we will do some active exercises and then some more passive exercises. The whole thing will take about 40-45 minutes. And you will need a mat for your own comfortability. If you have a blanket or a rug on your floor at home, that's fine too. If you have sensitive knees, maybe something extra soft to place on the knees. And I have blocks here, but if you don't have blocks at home, you can use bowls that you turn over and use so you have some extra height for support during these exercises. Also a good thing to have is maybe a folded up shirt or anything that's soft that you can squeeze around with your feet, and you'll see why later. And yeah, I think that's it. Some water maybe, if you have that, need that. First we will warm up and start by standing and just jumping. So normal jumps, switching your weight from one leg to another. We'll do this for a little while. Keep yourself in the butt. All the way up. High knees, up with the knees. And normal kicks in the butt again. And normal jumps. Alright, done with the jumping. We're going to stand out and we're going to squat a little bit. And I need it to be an open squat. So we want the knees to follow the line of our feet and not have them fall in like that. If we are a little bit maybe thinking we have a very open hip, but we really don't, then we may start with trying to point the feet out there, thinking that the knees will follow in that direction. But the hip actually stops that. So instead of following the lines of your feet, your knees will point inward instead, and then you are not working extra on your hips at all. And instead you're actually damaging your knees by twisting in the knee, yeah? So be true to where your hips are and squat down. When you come down here, try to actively pull your knees backwards. So they go and open up in that hip as much as you can. Try not to bend over, meaning try not to fall over in your chest. Try to pull down your pelvis. Do a little kind of an activation in your abdominals, and thinking that your tailbone is what you need to get to the floor in a straight line. That may pinch a little extra in your hips, and that's what we want. Yes? So, knees back, tailbone down, knees up. this side. It should look somewhat like this when you come up and down. Down with that. Pelvis and tailbone don't collapse. Yeah? Alright. Now we're going to stay low. And your low is yours, so don't try to copy mine if you can only hold it here, or if you can even come down further, you do that, okay? So, still, pelvis down, here. Now you try to push your knees further back. And then you may feel some squeezing and some kind of like soreness in the back of your butt, and that is the rotators of the butt, the rotators of the hip, that is working a lot. And those are sitting very close to the hip joint, so it's a good thing to get them good and warm before middle split, because the closer we can get to the joint in the warm-up, the happier your joint will be in splitting and flexibility in general. Alright, up, shake your legs a little. And since this is still a squat, you may feel it as well in your quads, here in the front thigh. Yes. Alright, so next thing is a little more dynamic squatting. So we're going to come down, up, down, up. Try not to fall down and make it a front kick, more a side. So I need you to think hip forward and lift to the side. So it becomes more of a straight lift and not a tilted lift here, okay? So down, up, down, up, down. 10 more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Shake. All right. Okay, now we're going to lay down and we're going to keep our folded up shirt, our block, whatever you have close to you. The bowl will not work for this, so don't use the bowl for this next one if you brought that. So, lay down and holding the feet together, grabbing your knees and pulling apart. So I pull my knees towards me and to the side and out. Keep contact with your knees and with the hands. Make sure your feet touch each other all the time. If you hear cracking or any sound from your hip joint, it's normal, as long as it's not like, as long as the cracking itself does not create pain, okay? So if you feel a crack and then you feel like a sharp pain, then go a little less out in your hips and make the circles you make with your knees a little bit smaller. I've changed direction now, so go in the other rotation here. Now we're going to do a little biking. I know it's very basic, but it is very good for warming up the muscles. And it is the most important thing when we do splits is to have all the soft tissue around the hips warm. So I know that circle, like biking like this, you may think, but that's back thigh and front thigh, and that's more relevant for a front split. And that is true, but it's also very relevant for hip warm-up in general. So don't be scared to mix up those exercises. When, just come up on your elbows here, so you have a little bit of support. And when you come down here, I need that knee and that leg to be extended. Yes, lift the other one up, switch. And really mean it when you extend that leg. Try to open up the hip so your, what do you call it, the roof of your foot is rotated outward, yeah? So instead of going like this, you go like this, yes? And then you bike, yes? So you still open up and rotate the hip, yeah? While you bike. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Shake your legs a little. You may feel it in your abs as well. Isn't that a nice bonus when you work out those abs as well? Okay. Next, I know I moved it away. You need it now. Take your block or your folded up cloth, shirt, whatever you have. Lay down flat on your back. And now I need you to make your feet squeeze around the block or whatever you have and rotate again outward. So now you open up the hips again. And now I need you to try to dip down your block or whatever you have as close to your crotch as possible. This is again an active way of opening up your hip and back up. Yes? The fact that it is active and not passive makes it more controlled to your level and your flexibility. So you don't get pushed and pulled into places you're not ready for. It is your own body that creates the limit. Yeah? Breathe. We need 5 more of those. This is 1. 2. 3. 4. And last one. 5. Nice. Shake your legs again. If you have water and you need to take a sip, do it now. Okay, so now we will do again an active exercise, but it is also passive in the way that we kind of lock our body in a position, and then we're going to work in the hip joint. For those of you who don't know, the hip joint is like a bowl. And then the thigh bone comes up with it's kind of called like a head made of bone. and it's up here in the bowl. And we can either decide to rotate in the hip, meaning in the pelvis part of the hip, or we can decide to rotate in the thigh part of the hip. Yeah? So now we're going to play a little bit with both, and we're going to do it in this position here. So we are out, and again we have the line of the toes and the knees that needs to be aligned, okay? So you cannot do this and have the knee going this way. Then you need to adjust because your hip may not be ready to be all the way out there yet, and you need to have, you can correct it by pulling your foot forward like this. Yeah? If you're more ready for it, you can open up and make sure the knee is going out. Here, I point my toe. You can also flex it. Doesn't really matter because now we're going to work on the hip. I'm sitting back as much as I can, so don't fall down forward here. Just come up, chest forward. Now I'm rotating only in the hip and the leg. The rest is steady, yeah? You can use your arm here to support the knee. Of course, you should still pull actively, but you can support it with the arm. So right now, inside the hip, it looks like this. Now try to keep it as rotated backwards as you can, so the palm of the foot is facing forward. Yes? And do little squeezes backwards. Here you need to tense up your thigh, so try to extend the leg as much as you can to protect your knee. Alright. Keep it as far rotated as you can. Put your hands down if you need to. And now we're going to keep the legs steady and arch the back instead. Arch. Arch. Round. Arch. If you feel it more on the other leg, it's fine. 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. All right, arms out, switch side of the leg. Yes. Point the toe, support the foot. If you're too far out, doesn't really matter if the foot is up and down or down. It's more about the flexibility of your calf. So if you can have your heel down, it's fine. Don't think it's wrong that you can't. Okay? So heel down if you can. Support. Point or flex, your choice. Rotate back and forth. Only movement in your leg, not in your upper body. You can support yourself with the hands if you need to. It's not better if you can without hands. It's just different, a little harder. Extend the knee, meaning activating your quads to protect the knee. If you notice that your foot is going further back than the other one, or less back than the other one, it is very normal that we have one side where the hip is more open than the other. So don't think that something is wrong. It's more common than rare to have better side than the other. Alright. Keep it backwards rotated and do little tilts backwards as much as you can. Feel the activation in your butt. Keep it as far rotated back as you can. And now arch your back, round your back. Arch your back, round. Protect the knee by holding on to it if you need to. Most people don't, but just in case. Keep your leg rotated back. Ten more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. Sit down, shake your legs. Alright, so when we do a split, it is different than a pancake. So you may have tried that a part of the warm-up for the middle split is doing pancaking, and you can, but it's not the same muscles you work on. In general, it is hard to be very sharp about the lines about what muscles it is. But when you're in a pancake and moving forward, it is mostly your back thigh, your hamstrings back here that you extend and you stretch. Also a lot about controlling your lower back. When you do middle splits, it is hardcore inner thigh and a lot of pain for most people, yeah? So it is about the hip joint going out here and not forward like that, yeah? So it's not bad, or it doesn't make any problems, because like I said before, for anything, any flexibility of your hip, it is better to just do a very good warm-up of all muscles around. But if you do the pancake thinking that that prepares the muscles for a middle split, it's not those muscles you prepare, okay? It's not the muscles you need to prepare, it's more the inner thighs, okay? So, what we will do now is sit with our block or our clothes, whatever we have here, and we will lay it down on the wider side if you have that. And now we're going to squeeze the legs. Keep your tension of your front thighs here to protect your knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And those muscles you feel tensing up, those are the muscles you're stretching in the middle split, yeah? And relax. Go again. Push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. I hope you can feel them as much as I can. You can have your hands here to support. And push again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake. One last round. And push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. God damn it. Okay, so now we will do some preps for the full middle split. So if you have that extra thing for your knee in case you have sensitive knees, put that in now. If you have a mat like me and you can roll that up, do that. If you have blocks, you can also put that under your knee. It's fine with me, okay? So, there are a little bit of technique here. So what I want to have happening here is the extended knee down and pull up, yes? So what happens is that we contract our inner thigh for the opposite of splitting. So that means we warm up those muscles very nice and well, okay? And we go into a kind of split, and then we pull up, yes? I need you to be forward folded like this, so in all fours position. And the technique for this, we need to have a full square in the hips, so don't sit back, don't pull forward, okay? So we need to have a full square in the hip, and I can't see here. Nina is controlling the camera if it's still rolling, so I just need to be able to see myself. Yes? So a full square, out, and back up. Yes? Out, and back up. Yeah? Try not to round your back. Try not to arch your back. I actually want it to be kind of straight for this. Yes? So now we'll do it from this angle, and we will do it together. Hands down, all four. Square position of the hips. If you have a mirror, bring it with you. Forgot to say in the beginning, it's easier to control yourself. Or if you have a partner that can control you, do that. So out, pull in. When we do this, the most important thing is to tense up your thigh, again, to protect your knee. If you have very flexible knees, this can harm you if you're not careful, okay? We need 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shake the leg. Other side, of course. Do at least 20. If you like to go faster than I do, you can. I like to do it a little slower, so I can still focus on all the things I need to be aware of. My knee, for example, my back and lower back, all that stuff, so that I'm sure I don't make any mistakes. Ten more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Good. Shake the leg. If you, during this exercise, felt it on the inner part of your knees here, it's most likely, your collateral ligaments, and we have them here on the inside of the knee. We have very few ligaments to hold the knee in place, and one of them sits here of the thigh bone and the calf bones, and it kind of holds it a little bit together here. So when we go up to the side like this and we push, you can actually see now I'm relaxing my knee, and it's kind of going like this. You can imagine if I have a ligament going from here to there and it's going like this, you can imagine it being pulled. And it doesn't like that at all. So if you feel pain there, that's probably because of that. Then I always suggest that you put extra support here by adding a little like padding or, yeah, I think you call it that, neoprene kind of padding here, or that you really work actively extra on contracting your thigh, because those muscles, the quads, go over here and it actually protects the knee as well. So the more you tense up here, the more you protect your knee, okay? You can also, if you have very highly flexible knees, you can keep that micro bend and still tense up your quads, okay? It's a little bit more tricky, but tensing up doesn't always mean that you have to go into hyper flexibility here in your knee, but just keeping tension, yeah? Okay, so now we will take these away. The mat, if you have it. I will use my socks, and I will use my shirts or whatever you have to put your knees on. I have the blocks, so I will use the block. So, going up here on my knees, try to make my feet square at the back, so I'm not collecting yet. We will, but not yet. So open up your legs here and pull out to the side. Now we're in a passive split, meaning that we don't use muscles to get into this position. We just use our weight and the slipperiness of the floor, and yeah. So you can stay up here in your arms if that's your max, and you can go here. I like it here because my knees can go and my hips can go where they are. And here we're going to do some active work still, of course. So, when I see people splitting, doing middle splits, I see a lot of them hanging in their hip like this, and they're hanging in their lower back for dear life, because it's the goal to get the stomach to touch. But the problem is that it is not very effective, because it's not about the lower back as much as it is about the hips in the split for most people. So when we're here, I actually would like for you to try to close in the feet so they touch. I still have a straight line from knee to hip, and instead of arching, I try to round my lower back a little. I hope you can feel it. You should. And we're gonna lay here and do 20, I think. It's a good number. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. Try to relax now a little, and if that means you're giving in your lower back and you're opening your legs, you do that. If you need to get all the way out of it, go forward, extend the legs, and lay on the floor. All right. Good. All right. So, we will do that whole thing one more time. And then we will do some full middle split exercises. So this is the last prep, warm-up, activity, you name what you want. Collect the feet. Arch and round. Go from arching to rounding. That was 2 out of 20. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll forward, extend your knees out, and land. Okay, so up here, sit down to one side, sit down to the other side. It's a little counter stretching. Forward with the legs. Go here and there. Counter stretching. Alright. So, if you're like, I'm not warm, I don't feel warm yet, you can add on more of these exercises as you go and do them for longer or put in more sets. You can also do some standing work where you are using a pole or a door frame where you hold on and you kind of do lateral kicks. So, I don't know if you can see it here, but if I hold on to a pole and I open up and kick, yes? So I do lateral kicks up, without the hand of course, but kicking upward, yeah? And do some more active work. That always helps if you don't feel warm yet. For those of you who are there, let's do some full splits. For this, you need socks to slide. If you have carpeted floor, go to somewhere that has not, yeah? Or make the best of it with your carpet. Okay, so use your bolts or your blocks to support you, depending on how far down you can go. If you don't need them at all, don't use them. Here, I need you to think feet pointing forward, forward, like we've done in all the exercises. I actively push with my arms upward, okay, all the time, so I still feel like I have full control in case I can't hold it anymore, my hips hurt too much, then you can always push yourself out of it. Yeah? Just like so. Yeah? You have to be able to have that control for you to do this exercise with no blocks. The higher you get, the easier it is. So, if you can't get that low, and maybe your maximum is here, use the blocks so you have a good way of pushing back, yeah, from the exercise. It is never a good idea to be here and then collapse in your knees, because that hurts your knees a lot, okay? So, let's do this 3 times. When you're down, the same thing as before, when we move out of it, if you're not pushing yourself up, I need you to come forward in it. So when we're out here, come forward, extend the legs, and collect them back behind you, yeah? So we're going to do that a couple of times, and then that'll be it. So we start from up. If you have a pole at home, you can also use that, but we're doing it here from the floor now. Out, push, push, push with the arms. Go to your maximum. I don't care if you point or flex your feet. Stay here for as long as you'd like. And roll forward, collecting the legs behind you. If you have warmed up your pancake, you can start from the pancake, roll up to that position we just had, and then further on. So you do a full rotation in your hip. Yeah? 2 more times. Push with your arms. Push, 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 push. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Push, still pushing. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Bring forward and out. Last one. If you feel your inner thighs starting to quaver a little bit, that's a good thing. Activate your thighs, still. Active, active. Roll forward and collect. That was it for me. I hope you liked it. And I hope you'll do it a lot during these crazy times where we cannot be together and work on our flexibility in the class. So, good luck, and I am looking forward to see your flexibility progress when we can get back here and work together. Bye.